Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. In today's video I'm going to be showing you the 2021 Ford Explorer Timberline. This one is the adventure slash off-roady Explorer you could get, and this one does have one option, and it is the panoramic sunroof, and it is a $1,700 option. But let me go ahead and show you all the features this Explorer Timberline has. Under the hood, there is a 2.3 turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. It is connected to a 10-speed automatic transmission. This engine produces 300 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque. And the fuel economy numbers on this engine: 19 in the city, 23 highway, and 21 combined. Here is a MSRP sticker of this 2021 Explorer Timberline. And if you guys are interested in the standard features this one has, just go ahead and pause the video. I know it's going to be a little bit hard to see. And it does have the twin panel moonroof. It is a $1,700 option. And with destination, the MSRP sticker is $49,000. So if you guys are curious about the color is called carbonized gray, and it does look very good on this Explorer Timberline, and it is basically just a gray color. And as I said, the price on this one is $49,000 with destination. It is expensive, but you do get a good amount of features, and basically this thing is adventure slash off-road ready from the factory, which is nice. And it does actually have some nice aggressive all-terrain tires, and I really like the rims, but I'll show you that when I actually move to the side. For the front looks nice and aggressive, and every time I see a Ford Explorer, it just reminds me of police cars, state troopers. So they do have that look. It doesn't matter what trim you get or buy, any Explorer will make other people think that you're actually a cop. But anyways, coming to the front, I think the front looks nice, and it is nice and aggressive. And the Ford logo is actually finished in black instead of blue. And since this is the Timberline, it does have a front-facing camera. The grille is finished in flat black, and I think it does look very, very good. And I love the fact that in the bottom there is orange touches. So there is an orange trim in the bottom, and there is basically a drawing right here of some mountains, and there is some orange tow hooks, and all the way in the bottom there's an opening, and right underneath the license plate, that's the sensor for the braking assist. And that brushed aluminum trim in the bottom is actually the skid plate, so if you go off-roading, you're not going to hurt anything underneath. And for the headlights, I really like the design of the headlights. They're big and long, and they get extended into the fender, and it does say Explorer right here. And everything right here in the front is LED, which is expected for almost a $50,000 SUV. I really like the design of the daytime running light, but I don't really like the fact that the turn signal indicator is very small. So I really wish that the daytime running light and the turn signal indicators were in the same place. And for the high and low beam, they are LED, and they are nice and bright. And all the way in the bottom there is some LED fog lights, and the surrounding trim is finished in flat black. And again, guys, I really like the front, but let's go ahead and move to the back, to the side, and I'll show you the side view of this Explorer. Here is a side view of this Ford Explorer, and it does look pretty good from the side. And all the window trims and everything right here on the side is blacked out, so there is no chrome at all. And it does have some roof rails. They're finished in flat black, and Timberline badge is right there. And the fender flares are finished in plastic, and they're a little bit on the thicker side. And in the bottom there's a good amount of plastic, and there is this gloss black trim. I think it does add a nicer look or nicer touch to the side of this Explorer. And it does say Explorer right there underneath that gloss black trim. And for the mirrors are finished in flat black, and they do have a blind spot monitoring system and a light underneath with a camera for the 360 camera system this Ford Explorer has. And on the roof, as I said, there is some roof rails and the panoramic sunroof, which is a $1,700 option. And for the rims, they are finished in gloss black, and I think they look good. And the design is actually not too bad for an off-road vehicle, and the size is 265/65/17, so I'm glad that there is a good amount of rubber. And the rubber itself is actually nice and aggressive. It does have all-terrain tires. But let's go ahead and move to the back, and I'll show you the back view of this Ford Explorer. Here is the back of this Ford, and it does look pretty good from the back. And there's some gloss black right here on the side. And the spoiler is actually nice and aggressive. Definitely adds a nicer look to this Ford, and that's where the wiper is. I really wish it was hidden underneath the spoiler. Ford logo is finished in black, and Explorer is written right here in the back. And here is the backup camera. And all-wheel drive badge is on the right, and Timberline badge is all the way to the left. And the bumper is finished in plastic. I'm glad that the bumper is finished in plastic, so when going off-roading, it's fine for the plastic to get scratched. And this Explorer does have rear parking sensors. Reflectors are located all the way in the bottom, and here is the hitch receiver, and it does have some pin connectors right here on the side. And yeah, overall I think the back looks pretty good. And actually, for the taillights, I completely forgot about the taillights, but the taillights are not all LED. So the running light is LED, the reverse and the turn signal indicators are halogen. I really wish the turn signal indicators here in the back were LED. Here is the key. It does look good. Has a really nice light weight to it, even though it's a little bit on the bulky side. It does have Ford logo in the back, and it does have physical key inside of it. And this key does have 5 buttons on it. It does have unlock, lock, remote start, tailgate release, and a panic button. To remote start the SUV, make sure it's locked. Click the remote start button twice, and it will turn on. And to open the tailgate, there is 3 different ways. There's one inside, one on the tailgate, and one on the key. I think I have to double click it twice. It does have automatic lift gate. Opens nice and quick. And there's 2 buttons up there. One to close the tailgate, and the other one is to close the tailgate and lock the SUV. And inside, actually, there's a good amount of space with the 3rd row up. A lot of 3-row SUVs, they have barely any space in the back, but this Explorer does have a good amount of space here in the back, which is nice. A storage place or a cubby on the right, another one on the left, some tie downs, and of course you could drop those seats down. So let's go ahead and drop those seats down. They do actually go nice and flat. Let's see if I could do that with one hand. It's not that easy to do with one hand, but it's doable. And underneath there is a good amount of storage place. Actually, it's nice and deep, and with the 3rd row down, there is a very good amount of space, and the floor is nice and flat. And there is a light right here on the right. There is a 12 volt, and on the left there is actually nothing, but there is this storage place. So if you rotate this, you could actually open this cover, and there is a good amount of space inside. So I'm glad that there is this storage place. You could store things inside of it. But yeah, guys, very impressed with the space of the trunk of this Explorer. The opening is nice and big, and I'm really happy with the trunk space. Here is the front door panel, and the front door panel looks pretty good. Top portion is that synthetic rubber material, so it is nice and soft. This whole thing right here is wrapped in leather, which is very, very good. And this orange stitching is exclusive to the Timberline package or trim. The armrest is nice and soft. This is actually nice and soft. And this is plastic, which is expected. This is plastic too. And I love the fact that there is a ton of storage place in the bottom of this door. So Ford did a great job with the storage place in the bottom of this door. A speaker and door locks, tweeter. The door handle feels nice and light and solid at the same time. And for the window switches, they look good. Everything feels nice and solid. Mirror controls, and everything just looks amazing. And by the way, those windows are double pane windows, or acoustic windows. They basically make the interior of this Ford Explorer much quieter. So for the driver's seat, it is nice and comfortable, and not the whole thing is wrapped in leather. So the center is actually finished in cloth, and the sides are wrapped in leather. And as I said, the seats are very comfortable, and I really like the orange stitching. Seat controls are in the bottom with lumbar support, and it does have that mountain design or mountain logo on the seat, just like what I showed you in the front. But let's go ahead and move inside this Explorer, and I'll show you how it looks like from the inside. All right, so here is the interior of this 2021 Ford Explorer. Does look very good from the inside, and seeing out of this SUV is very, very easy. The windows are nice and large, and yeah, seeing out of this SUV is very, very easy. And I love the seating position, and yeah, I think it does look pretty good from the inside. The steering wheel is very, very, very thick, almost like a BMW thick, and does have flat bottom design, some brushed aluminum, and some orange stitching on the wheel. And right here on the left, there is a good amount of buttons. The safety features: cruise control, adaptive cruise control, steering assist, volume controls, Bluetooth controls. Actually, those are the volume controls right here. Bluetooth controls are on the right with the voice command, and you will have a few buttons right here to control that center screen. So you could go up and down, could go back, and for the gauges, they look pretty good, very easy to understand and read. Some paddle shifters right behind the steering wheel, and the paddle shifters are very, very cheap. They feel like they're actually going to fall off. Not a big fan of them. And on the left is the turn signal controls with the high and low beam, and on the right is the wiper controls for the front and back, and that's where the engine start stop is located. And here is the AC vent, or the vents, and the surrounding is finished in chrome. I really like this trim. I really wish that Ford actually added that trim on the doors. And right here there is a good amount of buttons. There is the tailgate release, headlight controls, fog light is this button right here, brightness control, and with the Timberline trim, it does actually come with this aux button. So when you turn on, let's go ahead and turn on the lights. When you turn on the aux, it turns on this button right here, and I think you could actually hook up anything to that aux. I think it's pre-wired, so all you have to do is just basically put the light and hook it up to the pre-wires that Ford has. And for the screen, it is actually very small. It is an 8-inch screen, and honestly it looks very small. It honestly looks like a 5-inch screen. This SUV is massive, and I really wish that Ford actually made the screen bigger. I think maybe a 9-inch screen or a 10-inch screen would have been good. And for almost $50,000, not a big fan of this 8-inch screen. It does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and does have Sync 4. There is a storage place right here, and it is rubberized, which is nice. I really like this trim, as I said. And down here, not a big fan of this silver plastic volume knob, tune knob. There is a button to turn on the 360 camera, and the heated seats are actually very, very hot in this Ford. Temperature control does have dual climate control. You could turn off the temperature from here, change the mode, max AC, and then auto function, and you could control the rear climate from here. I think it does actually have a rear climate, if I'm not mistaken, but anyways, right here there is a ton of space. It is nice and deep. One USB-C, one USB, 12 volt. You could close this cover, click the button, and the lid will open. And here is the shifter that will control the 10-speed automatic transmission in this Ford Explorer. To put it in reverse, just go ahead and rotate it to the right. Put it in drive, rotate it all the way to the right. And if you want to put it in park, move it all the way to the left. It does have a manual mode. Basically, when you put it in drive, you can put it in manual mode if you want to. And it does have brake hold, e-brake, engine shut off, and it does have the traction control button right here, hill descent, drive mode. So let's go ahead and change the drive modes. Does have slippery, normal, eco, sport, tow haul, and that's it. And 2 cup holders, nice and big, a place to put a phone, and the armrest is nice and soft, wrapped in leather, more of that orange stitching. Inside there is a very good amount of space with 112 volt. And up here there is a normal rear view mirror. It's not auto dimming, and it doesn't have garage controls on it. And right here there is a button to turn on the left right LED lights, which is nice. And this button will turn on all the lights in this SUV. The sunroof controls, and here is the glasses holder. And for the visors are nice and soft, nice and solid. And inside there is a mirror and LED lights. Here is the back door, and the back door has the same design as the front. It does have that synthetic rubber material up top, which is good. So this is actually not plastic, which is good. And this whole thing is wrapped in leather, more of that orange stitching. Here is the window switch, and there is a cup holder in the door. Door handle feels nice and solid, a tweeter. And in the bottom, this is plastic, which is expected. Speaker in the bottom, and a good amount of storage place for the back door. And for the back seats, they're actually nice and spacious, and there is a good amount of leg room in the third row. And I love the fact that Ford made the whole interior finished in this orange stitching. So back seats, front seats, on the door panels, everything is finished in that orange stitching, which is good. Here is the seat control, and the second row has armrests, and there is a ton of space down here. There is 2 cup holders, and there is a storage place, and there's 2 small cubbies on the sides of the cup holders. And here is going to be some climate controls for the back seats. There is fan speed, and on the right is the temperature, 12 volt, 1 USB-C, 1 USB. And in the bottom there is a good size cubby, and that's how the front of this Ford Explorer looks like. So to be able to move the second row to the front, you have to lift on this handle, and then the seat will move to the front like this. This handle right here will actually drop the back down, but the handle will drop it a little bit down, and then it will move the whole seat to the front. And third row is actually nice and spacious. There's a good amount of leg room, and the headroom is actually very, very good. And there is some cup holders right here on the sides with storage places. Even on the other side, it's the same thing. I hope you guys enjoyed this review of this 2021 Ford Explorer. I would like to thank Chris and Stevens Ford here in Milford, Connecticut for providing me this Ford Explorer. If you guys are interested, and if you guys are around, make sure to come and check them out. I'm going to go ahead and put their information and link in the bottom of this video. And if you guys would like to see more videos like this, please subscribe, and as always, I'll see you next time.